More Twitch viewers on DL stream than LCS stream Thursday noon. Bro, I was actually thinking about this. Like, how much percentage drop off would merit them to like rethink the schedule? So like, for example, obviously like Doomsday is the new schedule drops and LCS has half the viewership as before. You know, it goes from like, how much viewership is LCS getting before in like good games? Like, you know, I'm talking like C9 versus TL or like EG versus I'm blanking on like another really popular team. 100 Thieves wasn't that popular, were they? Okay, so we got like 100k. Okay. So without the co-streams, 100k plus. So what if it went down to 60 or 50k? So 50% of the people left. Like, would that be enough for LCS, like the managerial people to revert the change? You know, emergency fucking button is hit and they say, okay, we need to go back to the weekends. This is not it. Or like, is it one of those things where like we just have to like fucking tank it for a whole year or a whole split? Or is 50% too much? Like maybe like if LCS viewership goes from like 100k in the really, really high moments down to like 70k, that's still pretty bad. That's a 30% decrease, right? And then, okay, like, oh shit, like 70k, like this looks pretty bad optically. It's not working. 30%, by the way, is a crazy amount of viewership drop. So maybe, you know, if viewership kind of settles at like 70k and dipping down, do they revert it? Like, I'm just so curious, like what are like the measures in place where like the boxes can get potentially ticked to revert the change if it doesn't work? How to revert? Valo already took the studio on the weekend. Shit. He's got a point. There's no walking back on this one, guys. No refunds. There's no walking back. Like, day is fine. The main issue is the early start time. Okay, guys, I thought about that article that they wrote about it over and over again, and I feel like there's only two conclusions that I could make out of it, right? Only one of two possibilities for why they made this change. Number one, Valorant needs to use the studio on the weekend. They don't have another studio for them, so League just gets the short end of the stick because Valorant is Riot's new favorite child, and we are the forgotten. We get locked in the attic. Okay. Number two, they love both their children equally, but they think that it would actually be better for LCS to not be on the same day as LEC, since LEC happens earlier in the weekend. Like same day, right? Saturday, Sunday, but LEC happens earlier. So then they feel like people's appetite for watching League content, it's essentially been satisfied before LCS can even start, because by the time LCS starts on noon on the weekend, there have been multiple hours of LEC, and then we don't really get the, you know, we only get like the leftovers of the people who will just AFK that stream and have it on their second monitor, like minimized and muted, or you know, a lot of people will just be kind of overwatching League at that point, which I personally feel like, I don't know if how many Europeans are going to be watching LCS. You know, I don't have the data, but personally, I feel like it has to be majority NA still. It's still like I struggle to believe, unless I was presented with hard facts and proof, that the majority of LCS watchers aren't from NA. I don't know. This just feels like a bad change for that purpose. But maybe, you know, what I was talking about, like the appetite for watching League of Legends on the weekend conflicts when LCS and LEC are on the back to back. So that was my second theory. Between the two, I'm definitely leaning towards the first one, that we are the forgotten child. And they got a shiny new one, and they want to give them the better time slot in studio time. It's confirmed not the first one. Where is it confirmed? Many sources. Watch Travis Gafford video. Okay, so I mean, okay, sure. So if it's not the first one, I really do think it has to be the second one, where they have finessed themselves mentally into thinking this is actually going to be better for the LCS. And what I don't like about this plan is they are so sure of it that there is no way for them to walk it back. So we could potentially be locked in, you know, in a worst case scenario, we could potentially be locked into a situation where LCS just has like minus 30 to 50% viewership for a whole year. And that would really suck balls for everyone trying to get sponsorships, anyone trying to secure more funding, anyone trying to sell their LCS spot to a new you know, shiny investor. Yeah, that would. I think this is such a huge risk.